When we're born, we're more alike than we are different. Then somewhere along the way, we start to believe the more distant we are from each other, the more different we must be from each other. And it's only when we venture out into the world that we realize all the things we share. Maybe that's the power of flight.
When you are a mother, you have plans for your child, right? Like we had already had plans. I was like, oh, he's gonna go to an all-boys school. I want this and this for him, and then now suddenly you are faced with this thing, and it weighs heavily on you. I mean, even now, it still weighs heavily on me. It weighs heavily on you, especially because this is also something that people do not understand. My name is I am here because my 7-year-old son Zako attends OT here, occupational therapy here, and every Friday afternoon. Okay. So that's why I'm here. When he was about a year and 5 months, he had already not done the milestones that I expected of him. He was not talking. He wasn't waving, he wasn't doing anything, but we didn't think much of it because we were like, maybe he's delayed, until someone kind of flagged it, and I was like, no, actually maybe you should look into it, because by now he should be doing most of the things that his peers are doing. So then after then I took him to a pediatrician, a normal pediatrician, and the pediatrician kind of checked his hearing, and he was like, oh, but his hearing is fine. And then the pediatrician, so this was, and then the pediatrician then said, well, no, I think he might be autistic. So that was like, wow. I remember going home that afternoon after visiting the pediatrician, and I just went into my room and I locked myself and I started crying, because I was like, this is my first child, how could this happen? And my mother, I stay with my mother, she didn't know, she was also stunned, and she didn't even know what autism was, I also didn't know really deeply what autism was, but I just knew that it meant that there was something wrong with my child. After that, that first pediatrician said that I should see a child neurologist, or I should see a speech therapist, because at that time the thing really was he's not talking.
He just have to work with his interests.
Also went to do an intense advanced hearing test thing where they drugged him, and he was sedated him, and they did a whole thing when he was about 2.5, just to check if his hearing was fine. And the results came back, and they're like, no, his hearing is fine. And then because singabantu abamnyama, so we also went the traditional route to see what could it be, so you would go and they'd be like, no, you probably need to do rituals for him, and it weighs heavily on you, especially because this is also something that people do not understand. And that journey of going spiritually, going the traditional route, was also heavy on me, because when you go the traditional route, your small child, I am Taba and all of these things, and people will tell you all these things, that he has a spirit, that he's walking around with his old grandfather, it lives in him, someone that you do not know from the paternal side, and they would there are rituals that you have to do. Like, I remember one of the things that we had to do, the old lady that we went to gave us like a stick thing that my son has to walk around with this stick. And I mean, this is like a 3-year-old. You can't like be like, boy, you have to walk around with it, you know. I think my child also at some point he had to go and went to like this Tandazeli somewhere in Soweto, and my child, I think he was still young, like 3, had to go by umfaka a meeting, like a river, like a stream, so they had to like go. I wasn't there, he went with his nanny because I was working, and so the nanny was like, I was even scared. I was like, what if the child disappears, because those people believe that, you know, he has a spirit with it, you know. So it was an intense journey. It was an intense journey, and you are in the dark, and a part of you kind of like sees that, no man, there's something with my child, but a part of you is like, no, maybe things are going to change, you know. So it's always like you are in turmoil, until like you get to a place where you have to be like, accept things for what they are. So I think, I mean, a lot of parents that, you know, I've come across within this autism space, like they will tell you that, you know, there are very few who accept it from the word go. Like, you know, most of us have gone through the same journey.
And setting up for sessions, although it's not too, I don't keep things too formal because it depends on what the child needs on the day.
Okay.
So I will change things. I have a goal in mind, but if they need calming that day, then we'll do more swinging or climbing the cloud, or sometimes they need the weighted blanket is useful. It just depends on where they are that day.
Yeah.
Like we have different up and down days. The children that I see have lots of up and down days, and sometimes the days are more loaded and they need more comforting sensations like slow swinging or deep pressure from calming or jumping and crashing. And some days we can do more processing work, which is like they can swing and pick up something and throw it into the hoop, pick up a ball or a beanbag and throw it into the hoop, and that's a nice goal-directed, purposeful activity.
Wow. Okay. And so they can climb up onto the cloud.
That's a So this is spandex and it's stretchy, so it gives that deep pressure input. It's like a hug or a massage. It's that kind of input, and all children tend to like that deep pressure input.
Right.
It tends to be calming, generally. Some of the kids don't go up there because they're scared of movement, and then we'll do things down on the floor, and then I put the weighted blanket on them if they tolerate that, or we crawl under the mattresses because that also gives the nice calming input. So yeah, it's very individual. No recipe like for people. Some children love. I've got a child who loves Thomas the Tank Engine, so I've got a Thomas the Tank Engine bubble engine. Bubble's also very calming, so he goes across the floor and that child then engages with me and will request to have Thomas going. So I get things to meet the needs of whoever is coming to therapy.
Right. And then in terms of non-verbal kids, I mean, so what is the first part of sort of therapy, and like what do you do first in that instance?
So we tend to have multidisciplinary sessions. So the speech therapist and I will work together because we need a child to engage. We need those prerequisites, or they call it pre-linguistic skills. So joint attention, engagement, imitation, cause and effect. So you need the child or the individual to be with you in an activity. And that's where the sensation and the sensory activities are very nice. Once you get the child at a what we call a calm alert, calm and less anxious, then they engage with you, and we can work from that relationship to get communication going. Whether it's just looking at you, whether it's pointing, whether it is gesturing, whether it's using pictures, we start with that engagement first. And then I tend to use a lot of Makaton. Makaton is a multimodal sign language or communication system where you speak and sign at the same time, and then we also use symbols, which is pictures. So as a therapist, I have to have everything that I can to support that child, to enable them to communicate. And it's up to them to show me what works best, and then I change my therapy around that to support that communication. And that's how the speech therapist, the parents, the teachers, the OT, we work as a team, and we go from there, getting that engagement and that communication, we support that development.
Wow, okay.